All right. It is time. It is time. Go back to the lights. And we have ourselves. Obviously, it's really hard to check because everyone has already done personal bests. So it's time to the friends section instead. And last time, I ended at 139. I did, if I remember correctly, uh 129 warm up, 132 warm up, and then 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, and then 139 with no augments, and that's where we end up here. I recently got an ancient shoulders, but not very good. But at least it's gonna be ancient, and I'm gonna be augmenting today, and so that's what I'm gonna be doing right now before I move forward. I will still have some non-ancient pieces, but that's fine. I intend to go around 145, 146 from the 140 onwards, so it should be relatively quick. Uh, if the RNG lets me get away with, just not needing to do too many. And then after that, I will move to the UE strafe multi-shot after that. But we will see how much fun we get uh, with the wave of light, and then we'll see if we want to go even farther than that. Uh, Obviously, it's the top tier build, right? So it can go very far very easily. But uh, the way to play this, creatively speaking, uh, is to get as much density as you can. And so for me, at times, I would be playing it a little bit greedier, which is why I prefer having a bit more paragons instead of just going right through them. In terms of how low paragon you can play this build, I intend to have more density, and so I will be doing that. So let's go ahead and start grabbing the whispers that I worked on yesterday with the 134s, and I also have a list of the exact augment rank that I want to do on each item. And I know it sounds really weird that you can just do all 135s. Like, why not just all 135s? And now, some items just don't deserve a 135. And I know that sounds like, well, all 135s could just help your push attempt. Well, yeah, but what if I get the next item during the GR success clear and I looted something, right? So I can't just assume that I'm gonna get nothing, And so the progression of how well the gear rolled is important, and the rank of the gem is that bookmark system that I have. And so we'll be taking our time to augment these items. And so I have like a very specific uh augments that I want to do. And yeah, so we will see. And this is the whole reason why I leave some augments here in order to save them when I do get an actual upgrade. And so that is the method that I'm going with. And I've always done that ever since season 12, where I actually gradually season 12 and season 16 specifically, where I gradually started going into the quote unquote push direction, even though back then, um, I mean, from now, we say that back then was a push because the limit was like around 120, and I'm getting closer to 120. Um, and so, uh, but then the rank of the gems were the baseline was 100, and now it's 125, or like since season 26, it's rank 125. Well, even before that, the Soul Shard rank 3 revealed the 125 rank, which in turn became the baseline from season 25, leading up to season 26, where these Whispers of Atonement, initially they even wanted to put these at 100, and in the PTR, in the public test realm, many a times they default to 100 actually, and that's because that was what they intended since they saw that our baseline gems, were traditionally ranked 100. Back when you had to spend like 30 to 45 minutes on each, uh, like unused, let's say unused Bane of the Trapped, or an unused Invigorating Gemstone, or an unused Gem of Ease, or an unused Borg chip, Legendary Gem, whatever you're leveling, ranking up at Urshi that you won't use for your main build would become the Augment Gem, right? And so back then it was 100 baseline, and now it's 125. So for all the like mediocre ancients that I have, it would land at 125. Whatever uh, comes up having stat lines that are like slightly better, then it's a 130, and then a 131 or a 135 is like I appreciate the RNG, and that by doing so, superstitious, right, or not, this will also give me some potential luck, we can say. Uh, and so let's go ahead and start augmenting. And so we'll start with the chess piece. The chess piece, I designated it to be a 130 because it's now I wanted to do between 130 or 131, but it didn't really give me that 131 vibe, and so I would just prefer to give it a 130 instead. So we have that. And then let's go ahead with the Rabbit Strike. The Rabbit Strike is fine, and so that's my first 135. And then for the Curious Blade, it's definitely not a 135 because for me, I would prefer the Dexterity to be my favorite life per hit, which is going to cost me actually in this next 140 plus attempts, because in the way that I play, this non-ancient default 7.8k life per hit is not quite sufficient. And I already felt that when I was playing the push attempts between 134 through 139 step by step, one tier at a time. But of course, at that time, it was zero augments, right? But even with augments or not, um, of course, with augments, you would take them down faster, so life per hit is basically useless. But at the same time, um, the initial uh, point of engagement is that every life per hit matters. Every monster that you hit, helps a lot. And so where this is not landing a 135 is because it's not my favorite stats. This is just the priority stats. This is not the trifecta or quadfecta that uh, I actually used back in season 27. So it's uh, not deserving 135. So let's just go ahead and get that at 130. And then we have one of my favorite items that got reworked a while back. And this one, I obtained it as a Demon Hunter. And this one rolled extremely well uh, for the most part. So this is going to be my next 135 because it is an ancient one and it feels as superior as the Rabbit Strike, for example, in terms of quality uh, of RNG in stat rolls. So it deserves the 135. Next, we have my Obsidian Ring, and it basically has everything you want on it, right? And I've been thinking about what I'm gonna do with this. Now, I don't play enough classes, so if I played more classes, what this deserves is augmenting vitality if I do happen to share this. Since I don't share it, now I prepared like one set of amethyst in case I decide that instead of in the Paragon core for vitality, I can just have an augmented vitality depending on what I'm going to share. And I initially prepared this to be shared with other classes that may happen to wear Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac at some point before switching to a COE equipped or something like that. And I was thinking about Vitality, but at the same time, I just feel like I'll just go all out offense, and the Paragon core can be, redistributed anyway. So this is going to be because it's also a primal, natural primal at that, with the physical resistance that everyone loves, physical resistance. So uh, then it is my 135. All right. So we have the remaining ones, right? And where this 131 you ask, which is a very odd number, the odd number would be for this Stone Gauntlets. And I was deciding what rank I should give this because Stone Gauntlets, the primary stats are very, very hard to roll well. This is not by any means the best, and that's why I don't want to put a 135 on it. Now, I'm gonna appreciate the really high stat per line. Okay, so per line it's 10 crit hit chance and 8 CDR, right? And then obviously it's like 51 dexterity away from 1,000. And so everything is like potentially very helpful already to maintain the foundational crit hit chance, foundational CDR, and obviously working on area damage where I want the area damage to be above 110. And so this Stone Gauntlets deserves the special 131 that you see here. And now, in the season 27, I was given from a friend of a friend primal Stone Gauntlets that was potential quadfecta. And whenever you have quadfecta Stone Gauntlets, if you do play more classes like I mentioned earlier with the Obsidian Ring, however, is that LoD Hoda, for example, uses a quadfecta Stone Gauntlets, and if this was a quadfecta Stone Gauntlets, then it would definitely match up to what I was preparing for an Amethyst had it not been for this to be shared amongst placeholder on different builds before you switch to a COE equipped or something like that, as I just mentioned earlier. So the Stone Gauntlets would have been the other shared vitality augment so that you don't have to re-augment. And especially for a 150 gem. Now, of course, this season or a lot of the seasonal themes that are a lot stronger, you will tend to have a lot of 150s, and it doesn't really matter that you can just re-augment like one of the 150s. But the whole idea is that you want to conserve as many for just what you directly want to augment it instead of re-augmenting. The re-augmenting step is usually done when you're lacking all possible avenues. And now what's remaining is every bit of main stat in terms of not needing to farm more paragons because at some point you'll spend more and more keystones per paragon, and the most direct is just to spend the rest of your 150 augments that you've already prepared on a stronger season. And so anyway, long story short, this is the 131 that was in the midst of everything like that are like 125, 130s, and 135. Where's the special 131? The special 131 is to show the appreciation of the Stone Gauntlet's RNG. Yeah, so this whole 131 and what's 135, this is I deem it as a bookmark system where basically if I were to mouse over each of my pieces, right, it would tell me that which ones I am needing to put more work into. And then we come to some of the pieces that I decided, you know, that needs work, but also deserves a little bit more help. And one of those is the shoulder. In season 27, I struggled with the shoulder. I actually played with a non-ancient shoulder, 48 percent, and it got me through, 148, 149, 150 without it being an ancient. And this season so far, I've reforged a few times of this one and finally got a reasonable one. And so, since they gave me a reasonable one, I'm gonna appreciate it by giving it the 130 instead of just a baseline 125 because the shoulder, uh, for me anyway, in terms of RNG, I've not had good RNG for the Lefebvre shoulder, and so I prefer just showing some appreciation by uh giving the augment of 130. Now, of course, I've been jumping all over the place, and so it's, you know, what remains as ancient and non-ancient, right? Obviously, non-ancient can't be augmented. So what's left for, 130? And I would go with the necklace for the 130, even though it doesn't really show that it deserves one. But, it's the foundation dex crit hit damage crit hit chance socket version. And so again, once again, I appreciate the RNG giving me at least a usable ancient because of the LoD gem asking for ancient items, right? And of course, when I do gear checks, for example, I also tend not to I tend not to forget telling people that I can see if you're using a forest ancient, right? And this unity is somewhat like a forest ancient. And so, whatever forced ancient I have and the rolls that I do get, this is one of those 125s. But before I go ahead with the augment of 125s, I'm going to augment this with the 130. I uh, got ahead because uh, I was trying to show the LoD gem about the ancient items bullet point uh, on the second bullet point. So here we have, you know, two more augments that are just 125s. Where will they be going? One of which is already shown. This is going to be my 125 because it rolled minimum rolls, min rolls, and it did not give me a direct resist, which uh goes with Harmony. Had it gone with a Harmony, I would have gotten a little bit closer to providing a 130 augment. But now life after each kill is not terrible because this build is so strong that you can kill density relatively quickly, and so it's the other form of healing as a result, right, of clearing your density cluster. And so life after each kill works in a sense, but ultimately because we use Harmony or we go back to Harmony because of the nerf to the Kiroshiro's blade in season 30, um Harmony like came back, more so, um and I am missing the other passive, and I'm gonna be thinking about between that passive or determination. Uh, and I unfortunately have to play Harmony this season so far because I'm still missing a lot of uh bonus direct resistances on my gear. For example, this 2 pickup radius is not helping Harmony passive. I believe this could have been more helpful, which is a work in progress, right? It's still not an ancient, which is one of the weaknesses of uh, my current gear that I didn't actually play this monk very much. I've only probably played about 10 greater rifts. Well, aside from the push ones, I'm talking about only about 10 greater rifts that I've spent playing. Most of this gear is dropped off from my own Demon Hunter RNG of non-smart loot, or the 3 Kiroshiro's blades that you see here are given from my friend um, during group play, as well as the incense torch that's extracted in the cube. Like basically 3 Kiroshiro's blade and the incense torch were given to me, and most of the rest of the gear have been very lucky to have been dropped by my own demon hunter. And so, um, let's continue augmenting. I just wanted to give a background of the items that I actually looted and not played. And so the reason behind why some items are still non-ancient and weak is because they were basically looted as my demon hunter. And why I'm so why am I emphasizing on that as well is because until I get stuck or relatively high GR push attempt on the impale build, as well as obviously I've gone into the UE strafe multi shot as well, until I've gone to the point where I feel like it is uh at a good state, at a good position, then I'm gonna uh you know proceed with the wave of light since it's a much higher tier than the impale or multi shot, right? So I'm not just using my monk as the Paragon grinder, you would say, uh, in order to get um further ahead with the impale. Even though now I do need the Paragons, which is the whole reason why I'm moving with the Wave of Light because I'm lacking Paragons for my future 146 for the impale, and as well as the multi shot, especially. I uh, have been having a very difficult time with the 141, strangely enough. So, anyway, again, uh, long story short, the Unity here is a forced ancient that the stats are terrible, but since I actually got an ancient that would help with my cooldown reduction, that I prefer having around the 64 percent. And so since it's ancient, I didn't want to salvage it even though it looks completely terrible. All right. So what is the last ancient that I haven't moused over? Well, this has been one of the earliest LoD items that I kept for a very long time when my demon hunter found it, and it had been sitting in my stash space for almost, I would say, 3/4 of the hours I've played on the demon hunter. It has been sitting in my stash space the whole time, and it's not by any means the best or anything, but I kept it because in season 27 I played both Impale and LoD Wave of Light, and so as soon as I see a reasonable witching hour ancient, I'll be keeping it, and I've held onto this for ages. Now, I appreciate it that it arrived that quickly, but the stats are still not very good, especially the dexterity is under 600. And when the stats are under 600, it in terms of the main stat especially, it just doesn't deserve anything better than a 125. So therefore, it's my final 125 or the other 125 aside from the Unity, and we can see that it kind of make a similar sense where because it min rolled me with 552 dexterity, right? The min roll, the lowest roll is 550 on an ancient. And so it min rolled me on one of the most important things in the game, which is main stat. And so it doesn't deserve anything better unless it's an equipment slot that's actually difficult to roll, such as the Stone Gauntlets, where it got a lot more love with appreciating it by augmenting it as a 131. All right, so that augment section took 20 minutes, right? But that's the, well, 20 or 30 minutes, but that's the stats that I have, and I'm almost at 3 mil sheets now. Basically 10 augments. The stats are basically 1 to 10 ratio. I have the 110 plus area damage that I foundationally started with before playing. I have the cooldown. The worst of it all is that the wave of light damage is still very bad because the helmet, this is a 137, but the most important stat line are both well, there's three important things: the socket, the crit hit chance, and the percent life. Now, obviously, I don't want just the percent life, but it is the only spot that I currently have that goes percent life, and I was like, this is not a bad helmet to start with finally, because at first when I was building well, when I was moving items to equip, I was actually at around 42.5 to 45 crit hit chance. And one of the issues was the helmet and the Unity. I didn't actually want to use this Unity because at the time, with a 4.5% crit hit chance, I wasn't even over 50%. And so only after that I saw that I managed to get over 50% crit hit chance that I was able to use this Unity. And had I seen that I wouldn't make past 50%, this would have been an auto salvage because again, it min rolled me everywhere. I have a non-ancient one that is 6 crit, I believe, and 14 or 15 percent elite damage. So I was gonna use that one no matter what. But since I had not salvaged this and that the LOD gem wants ancient items, uh, I decided that I'll just hang on to it for just a little longer. And in the end, it worked out by letting me augment the baseline 125 on it. And with that, once again, I'm going to show the 135, 139 clear of hero details. Now, last time, once again, I did warm up 129, 134, well, warm up 129, 132, and then started with the 134 and went step by step all the way, 0 augments, one by one because of the time duration that it took, and so it didn't enable the jumps of 2x2 or anything outside of the warm-ups of the 129 and 132. So that's why I did 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, and 139, and this is where I end up with 0 augments, I believe, as far as I can tell. And so now that I have 10 augments, I should be able to move forward better. And I use determination. I might need to go back to seize the initiative first before I think about determination. And so um, determination doesn't help me for the Rift Guardian fight, and that's why I'm thinking about going back to the more important one instead. And I would I would prefer to have determination instead of harmony, but with the nerf on the Kirishura's blade, it's just very difficult to play without harmony. Yeah. Hey everyone, I'm just making sure that the segment is more fitting. So hey Philip, hey Josie. Yeah. So let's go. Let's go straight into the 140 as a warm up, right? I actually prefer going straight into the tier number that I am working on, because you never know if you open an Orek stream or a Fields of Misery and whatever perfect alignment, it might just pop up just like that. And so we need to play right into the tier number, and also that the build is one of the strongest of the season. So aside from warming up, um, there's not much more to say about it than the strength of the build is so good that you should be able to do a 140, especially after doing a 10 augment spike, right? But I've had that feeling before with God DH, where I did 0 augment 130 uh on a mediocre season no theme, and yet the 130 0 augment felt better than the 131 after 9 augments, or 8 or 9 augments, because the overconfidence or the carrying of the 9 augments, 8 or 9 augments, made me feel like it was easy, but it actually ended up being more a more difficult rift that I had to make sure I play the same way I did as though I didn't have any augments, but the augments told me that I could handle it, and it was the wrong idea, right? And so anyway, this build should not have a problem. I'm just overstating something that doesn't matter for this particular build for this particular season. But in other words, if I successfully accomplish the 139 with 0 augments, this 140 with a 10 augment spike is gonna be easy. But I also challenge myself where the density is going to be a little insane, especially if um, the map allows me to do so. So here we go. Okay, not the best start, and it's a Bogan Trapper. So Bogan Trapper means this is going to be a super slow 140. Now, it's nice density, which I would have preferred the um, determination. So here's the other problem that I have. The other problem that I have right now is that I'm so used to determination that I'm gonna feel the pressure of not having determination.
That ability is not yet recharged.
And,
My wounds are closing.
and since I haven't warmed up, but using direct 140, it would look bad. Wow, an 11% conduit. Very interesting. Okay, there's a blue. Oh wow. man, the incoming damage is so painful ever since the Season 30 nerf to the Kiroshiro's Blade. And that's another reason why I talked about the life per hit. The life per hit is just so bad right now that I'm so used to having a good life per hit. Can I click? I can't click the pylon. Um, but the life per hit is so terrible that I'm so used to having life per hit on the weapon that this is giving me, uh, getting me, myself, like, low on health really easily. Because the way that I pull is that I'm using density for, life oscillation. Just like, for example, a Meteor Wizard would use, for the Arcane build, right? You would have a lot of density for Arcane power on critical hits. I'm using basically density as my life pool, but since I have a low life per hit, it only makes my playstyle even more challenging because I have a different kind of take to this build. Now, of course, normally speaking, you want to play the Kiroshiro's Blade text of 5 or fewer enemies, but then at the same time, what's the point of the area damage, you ask, right? So that is the whole reason as to why, man, this is so annoying. The shock towers are like gonna kill me, and I think that's really, really double shock tower map. Yeah, the life per hit is just so terrible. I'm having a hard time working with it, and then the next thing I'm probably feeling is my mouse. I probably need a new mouse. But this is not helping. And this is another reason why I don't like no density. You see? The Kiroshiro's Blade's text says what it says, but you're not using the splash, and when you stay with one elite, there's no splash. So you're not getting that impact. And so that is the whole reason why I love life per hit on my weapon, for example. Is because it allows me to pull like an entire screen to utilize the actual splash. But because I'm having such a hard time with the life per hit right now, I cannot pull to my maximum. As you can see that I got procced. Well, my proc was from a shock tower because I didn't move properly. But even if it wasn't the shock tower, I would have gotten procced because my mouse wasn't uh, clicking correctly. And soul lashers are painful, by the way. And of course, I also play the non-binding blinding speed rune because I prefer mobility. So I control my own. Wow, really? I knew that the soul lashes weren't dead. Like, I I was like, where were the orbs? So this 140 is like way more challenging than it needed to be because it's double shock power. And why is it not dying? This is the whole reason why I just don't like no density. And I don't mean to just like complain about the map being not the ideal like top tier map or something. I just can't use life per hit and the area damage that's supposed to be with the build. Like the more, and this is why I like the determination. I mean, it has a maximum, but I still prefer controlling my own situation than letting the build control me. And so you see, I actually played better when there were more enemies. Now,
That
that's
ability
the
is not
area
yet
damage
recharged.
playing, right? But for me, it's just my habit, is that if the screen is filled, completely filled, I play better, which is even more
Not
funny
ready yet.
because one simple Fire Shaman, when I play God D8, for example, I get procced from a one Fire Shaman,
What you
then
ask
getting
is
procced
impossible.
from, let's say, like 1,000 enemies. Oh, great. Spinner, really? So
I must wait
I
to
get
use
taken
that
out
ability.
very easily by one monster than multiple monsters. Of course, multiple monsters would hurt if you have a lot of affixes going on. Like let's say
That ability is not
three to
yet
five elite packs or
recharged.
something. That's terrible, and that's extremely difficult. But if it's just density like this, I actually play a lot better when there's a lot
Not ready
more
yet.
than just one or two enemies.
The Rift Guardian has found me.
I must wait to use that ability. My injuries are too severe. That ability is not yet recharged.
Wow, this is gonna take forever. The nerf is just so annoying.
I must
The
wait
build is
to
so
use that
easy to
ability.
play, but the nerf is just so annoying that do I have the gems? How come I feel like there's no
It is not
gems?
ready yet. I must wait to use that ability.
Oh, thank you for jumping. Oh, I was about to say
That ability is not yet
jumping to
recharged.
the Oculus Ring. That's perfect. Yeah, the life per hit is a little underwhelming right now.
It is not ready yet.
There we go. Yeah, this is a super slow one. Double shock tower is just terrible. But again, I didn't warm up at all, so alright. So what do I want to do exactly? Oh yeah, because this also my enforcer is not caught up, and this is where I need to actually uh rank the enforcer to be caught up. Let's go upgrade, please. I need to 140. Ah, well, it is 140 caught up, so that's fine.
I am returning to town.
I was hoping that it would get 141, but it's fine that it caught up now. So that's gonna help me
You have
not
proven
get
yourself
too far
worthy
behind
of your blood.
by having it
The
like
gods
close
aid me.
to the tier number that you're actually clearing. So that's my style. I prefer having at least one gem that's on the tier. And when you play for pushing especially, it's also the excitement that you succeeded in clearing the GR tier, and then you actually have a gem that the build is actually using, and you can still rank it up, and not just having it already ranked up for you before you even started. Now, what I'm saying for that is like a 150 gem. And so this is telling me that I lack damage, and now I have, per screen more additional damage to where I can actually see the increment. Now, when you have a 150, for example, yes, you have more damage initially, but once you struggle, you will struggle to find more damage because you already assume that the 150 should carry you. So you're like, where else can I get the damage? Well, now you're just blaming the maps, you're blaming anything else, but the fact of the matter is that it is actually better to notice the changes as you play rather than having it already maxed out for you before you even reach there on a respective build. you want to play a relatively close main gem number so that there's always an easier, immediate, instant gratification from an upgrade. So what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna give an example here, is that the Brain Dead Impale build, for example, I used the Brain Dead Impale to push from 125 through all the way to 135 instead of using a focus and restraint, right? And then since the season 30 buffed the 6-piece bonus, I was like, well, since in 27 I got the 135 done with the Brain Dead, then it means that with the buffed 6-piece from 75,000% all the way to 120,000%, and then the 25,000 adjacent to 40,000, it means that 135 is not the limit, is not the usual limit of the Brain Dead anymore. So I went to play 136 and it was fine. 137 got a little bit rough at that point, but it was still manageable. Now the challenge in chat was like, I think like my friends were telling me that I believe you can do 138 with your Brain Dead, and so working a bit on Paragons, and then I tried it, it worked out. That's where the end of my title showed that I did a 138 uh, at Paragon 1250. It's a nice number Paragon, and I used the no generator version, which is basically the Brain Dead and not the focus restraint to do a 138. Normally, uh, by 135, 136, the focus and restraint comes into the picture, but I use the Brain Dead continuously, and then 138 felt like a really strange number to end the Brain Dead, so I took it further after working on more Paragons that I should already have, but at the time I was only Paragon 1250, so I was like, well, I'm still quite under Paragon anyway, by any means of GR tier pushing on the Impale. So the quality of the quality of life of having more Paragon for 139 was pretty important. So around under 1600, I was like, well, it's 300 Paragons already that I worked on. So let's go ahead and try the 139 with the Brain Dead. And I actually got a really good RNG on the gameplay of the maps and the monster types, and I played to the best of my ability, and I got the 139 down with the Brain Dead without moving to focus restraint yet. And during that game session, I was like, well, since the 139 looked good, why not try the 140, which is going to be the maximum limitation of a build that isn't meant, well, of the Brain Dead build that isn't meant for pushing until you have actually Paragons, right? Because main stat is king. However, since the Brain Dead is supposed to be like a 114 through 120 GR, right? I'm already testing the limit by going 20 tiers higher than what it would normally be able to do. And so 140, I struggled with the Brain Dead, and that's when I finally switched over. After 3 failed attempts, I switched over to Focus and Restraint. And in that transition of change is the topic right now where, you transition with increments. And since the Brain Dead version does not have a generator, it doesn't use Focus and Restraint. But knowing that the Focus and Restraint is the proper build of the Impale build, then you have that instant gratification of the 125%, right? Of course, I was using Stoner Jordan or COE. There is that same amount of percent gain, but I was using Stoner Jordan because that's my solo primal. But if you tend to think of the Brain Dead with COE, the COE is a burst damage oriented versus the Stoner Jordan. So the Stoner Jordan is closer to the Focus and Restraint, but it's still not, not the same by any means. And so that instant gratification of a proper build would net the 140 very easily. And after the 3 fails of the Brain Dead, I actually got the 140 down first try. As soon as I swapped over to the Focus Restraint, I got that done. And in this one game session, I didn't just, 139 and 140. I went 141 second try, 142 second try, and then even a 143 first try. And see, within 6, 7 keys, I got 139 through 143 done. And in that kind of gameplay is where the instant gratification of increments from the transition between brain dead to its maximum limit versus already knowing what focus and restraint can do, such that you assume the damage in your positioning and your math calculation already. So you can't find more damage outside of gaining paragons or getting the best map or something like that all the time. And so where I got very excited and motivated is that I transitioned the bad build to the proper build, where the proper build instantly gave me more than 50% damage increase, right? In the mental mindset, right? In the mindset that you have 50% extra damage at minimum between the bad build, the bad setup of rings versus the actual proper setup of rings. And so, with that said, I gained that inner motivation based on the instant gain of damage. And so when you have that instant gain of damage, it feels even better. So now that I ranked up from a 137 to a 140 per screen, it has that 1% or whatever extra damage, right, per screen. And so now I could easily open a really bad 141, right, worse than the 140, but it's very unlikely. I had, you know, well, now I'm gonna jinx it, right? But I had double shock tower, and one of them was Bogan Trapper, um, to start, and so I would say that there's a very high chance that it's gonna be better than that. Okay, I'm not on my. I mean, this is fire resist, but I'm not on my Demon Hunter. Why are you giving me Ancient Marauder boots? Isn't that funny? Nope. COE is bad, and this is one of my favorite rings. I really wish that it was used more often. You know, I did at one point use this for the fun of it, just like Brain Dead. Using like the elusive ring and stuff. This Band of Root Chambers is one of my favorite rings to use just to mess around with the generator build, for example. I mean, not the proper generator build, but just um to make fun of the generator build with the Eye of the Storm and the Band of Root Chambers. I just think this is a cool ring because uh it is just as least used as the elusive ring. So when I see that ring, I actually feel, you know, a little bit of interest to that ring, to that use of the ring, and it reminded me of messing around with a bad generator setup. All right,
I require a new skill.
let's go ahead and try the one. Well, actually, I should gamble for bracers first and
Fate
try to work
smiles
on
another day.
the Pinto's Pride.
That will look nice on you.
Uh-huh. And there's one. Is it ancient? Nope. 6. Bad.
Let's see what happens, shall we? Do come back again. Well, isn't that nice?
8. Oh, 9.
Fortune favors the bold. Don't forget, luck always changes.
Wow. 10.
Such
Such a brave soul. Can't win every time. Don't forget, luck always.
13. Okay. So, okay. 141. Wow, the delay has been forever. So, 148 done. 10 augments, which doesn't even feel like 10 augments because the maps were terrible and the monster type was terrible. And I still prefer eating the life per hit. Feels bad. Alright, let's go. Didn't I say that it cannot get any much worse than the other one? And it ended up being an Oryx.
I must wait to use that ability.
So this should be a much easier one.
It is not ready yet.
I still need more density though.
I must wait to use that ability. A vicious strike.
And you see, I don't, like, I should be killing that elite already, but I just don't care.
It is not ready yet. Brave beneath the endless tide.
I actually prefer, like, having the elite with me. Because I'm actually using the splash damage that that the build
ability
intends
is
you
not
to.
yet recharged. It is not ready yet.
So it should drop dead soon. Yep.
I will not do that.
And you should keep moving as best you can. Builds like this and the Orek stream, the purpose of the Orek stream is to keep moving.
That ability
And so
is
that's
not
the whole
recharged.
idea.
I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged. A vicious strike. It is not ready yet.
Yeah, it's not dying. Another yellow elite.
I must
Almost
wait
dead.
to use that ability.
But there's not enough density. That's the biggest problem.
It is not ready yet. Your strength fails. That ability is not yet recharged.
Okay, channeling.
I must wait to use that ability.
Okay, there's another elite. Good.
That ability is not yet recharged.
There's a next elite. Okay. Alright, chaos.
I must wait to use that
Ultimate chaos.
Feel the wrath of Yita.
This is the fun part about the build, by the way. The fun part of the build is to
It is not ready yet.
play in extreme chaos. If you're not playing in extreme chaos, then you're not playing to the maximum of this build.
Feel the wrath of Yita.
Even though the Kiroshiro's Blade wants you to play, like, less.
That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready yet.
See, when it's less, it's so bad.
That ability is not yet recharged. You are defeated. I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet.
Yeah, when it's like so little monsters, it's terrible.
I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet.
And that's where the life per hit is really nice if you have life per hit.
That ability is not yet recharged.
It's because you can actually play it even more aggressive. My life per hit sucks so bad that I can't even play even more aggressive than I already did just now. Had I have the weapons life per hit, I would have played double the amount
That ability is
of
not
that.
yet recharged.
Like 4 elites is like nothing.
It is not ready yet. What you ask
Okay, so 90%. Got in channeling and conduit.
I must wait to use that ability.
This would already net me the Rift Guardian, so I have to be careful.
It is not ready yet.
I actually should positionally pace myself because
That ability is not yet recharged.
the instant grab would kill the third pylon.
It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability.
Okay, 99. Is there a pylon check that I can play?
It cannot be done.
No? Really? That's weird.
The Rift Guardian is here.
It is not ready yet.
I feel like I should have had a pylon.
That ability is not yet recharged.
That was strange. It might be somewhere. I'm gonna check since I ripped there. Let's check. Gotta be somewhere, right? I mean, my progression was fine. Where it could be the pylon. If it's not on the bridge, it was gonna be next. I just wanted to know, like, cause I felt like I should have had it. Yeah, I guess it's not. That's weird. I'm not checking because of after. I'm checking that. I'm assuming that I got it before I spawned the Rift Guardian.
I grow weak. That ability is not yet recharged. I must heal.
Because
I
I'm
must
still
heal.
still like a little
I must
confused
wait
about the
to use that ability.
number of pylons that I got. Because I was playing into trying for the third one before I...
Not ready yet.
Like, that was my game plan. When I was playing.
That ability is not yet recharged. My
Wow. I ran back into the minion.
I must wait to use that ability. I need spirit. I grow weak. It is not ready yet.
Alright. So, very interesting that the Pylon... I guess I never kept track of, like, how late the conduit was. Because had it been an earlier Pylon, I would have had a third Pylon. So this is where I got really confused between this and this. And then gotten enough. I should have gotten enough progression for the third one. So that's why I was confused. Because if it wasn't here already, it should have been either here, or here, or here. So that's why I was like... And then, of course, if I didn't reveal this side, it would have been on this side. So I'm just confused, like, where... Like, had it already tried to spawn before the Rift Guardian at 99, but I guess I didn't... I guess I killed the Pylon spawn before the 99. Because I was trying not to take down the 2 elite packs, because when you take down the 2 elite packs, the biggest problem is that the 60-yard pickup would over pick up some things immediately. And then it ruins the 99 check even further. It'll be worse that way. And that's why I played slower. Instead of just clearing out the 2. Oh, come on. They're gonna make me upgrade 1 by 1 now. Alright. Well, that was not a very good 141, even though it's an Orek stream.
Of your ancestors.
The gods favor me.
Alright. That was terrible. Didn't like that. And the time didn't even match the Orek stream's potential. I mean, I only got channeling and conduit. But still, like, the 140 was faster than this 141. Now, of course, I wasted a minute running around hoping for the 99% pylon, but still, even then, it's still slower than a bad double floor. Of course, I had better pylons on the 2 shock tower rotation, but one of the elite packs also took forever to get taken out in the 140, so it should have been slower. But the Orek streams are actually slower because the pylon order was terrible, and the game plan did not give me a third pylon for the Rift Guardian play that I actually intended to use any of the pylons, really. Because eventually the Rift Guardian fight is just way too annoying, and that's why I wanted the pylon play. Alright, 142. They're like, you did very poorly on the Orek stream. We're now gonna give you keeps. Alright. Alright, I see a fire chains. Be careful not to pull onto yourself, which I just did.
is not ready yet. I must wait to use that ability.
And there's like no density whatsoever.
It is not ready yet. That
I have to
ability is
overstay
not yet
this.
recharged.
There we go.
I must wait to use
What
that
is
ability.
this? Elite Arcane? Yeah.
It is not ready yet. Break beneath the endless tide.
Not a good map for the Arcane. Kind of like Blue
That
Fallen-ish.
ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready yet. The storm breaks.
Alright, where is the density at?
That ability
Seriously.
is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet.
I just need to get out these keeps.
I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged. Break beneath the endless tide. It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged.
Just breaking even
Wait to use that ability.
is... It's terrible.
It is not ready yet. My injuries are less severe. I must wait to use that ability.
There's some
That
blue.
ability is not
Fire
yet
chain again.
recharged. I must wait to use that ability.
There we go.
I will not
Oh, there is an elite pack. Almost couldn't see it. Arcane, of course.
It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged. I don't have enough spirit.
Oh, really? This is the... That's all over again from, like, the 149 that I felt, season 27. Where it almost
The gods
stalled my time so
I
badly.
must wait to use that ability.
Alright.
That ability is not yet recharged.
I almost over-teleported before the 50%. Even though I don't really want the pylon to be on this floor, whatever it is, but it will spawn. Alright, it's channeling,
It is not ready yet.
shielding. I wonder if all my density will die. before I kill this.
That ability is not yet recharged.
There's a chance that all the NC will die before I kill this.
I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged.
Okay.
A most thrilling battle.
These maps. Chickens at least, though.
Wait to use that ability.
The only sad part is that... Okay, that was painful. My resistances are terrible. The only sad part is
Not ready yet.
I'm gonna have a bad feeling about the pylons again. Because the timing of percentages
Ability is not
is
yet
so terrible.
I must wait to use that ability. The gods strike through me. It is not ready yet.
I think I need to check more often.
I must wait to use that ability. The storm breaks. That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability.
Because I'm gonna get yet another 2 pylon rift or something.
It is not ready yet. I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet. Your strength fails.
This is so annoying.
That ability
Is it gonna be a
not
2
yet
pylon
recharged.
rift? I have to be like careful to play the 99.
I must wait to use that ability. My mind is stronger. A vicious strike. It is not ready yet.
Oh, okay.
That ability is not yet recharged. The storm breaks. I must wait to use that ability. I must heal.
There you go. There's the 99.
Ability is not yet recharged.
The Rift Guardian is here.
It cannot be done. It is not ready yet.
I was like, where's the pylon at?
That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready yet.
There we go. That's a better one. Even though it took forever. But that's because the positioning of the pylon spawn was just like... I took out some pylon spawns every now and then. At the 86 I checked. At the 92 I checked. And then I was like, well, what's my next pylon? Like, Well, it better be something helpful at least. I had to like keep looking because the progression is so weird when I did the keeps.
Yes.
But yeah, that was just. Let's see. Come on. Yes. Enforcer, please. Thank you. Okay. So now it's to the above one plus one above. What else do I want to rank up? All right, that.
I'm returning to town.
Ah, there's the shoulder. Please be good.
Most impressive.
Flow of Eternity. Incense torch. Nope. Not good enough. Oh, time to
You
extract
consider
that.
it. Please look, you won't be disappointed.
Can I get a Ancient Pinto's Pride? I
Don't be
need
shy.
some help with the Pinto's Pride.
Ooh, that's nice. Can I have it back? Are you ready? Do come back again. You look like you could use a new item of, well, isn't that nice?
Chance, huh? Alright, so 142 down. I need to test the Pinto's Pride. Do I have I have two spare. Both are 134s. It's so funny. Oh right, and then another one on the ground just now. Alright. I need to mess around with the I need to mess around with the Reforge a bit because Kadala wasn't helping. Okay, this is not it. Okay, it has higher life per hit, but it's 137. 5, I can't use that. 6. These are so horrible. Come on, help me out a little. Really? A 127. Oh man. Oh, right. I ran out. Ah, well. That didn't work. I was hoping that it would help me. Like, give me a chance. Nope. Nothing. Only gonna keep like one, because
Must choose my skill.
they were not good RNG. Alright. 143. Oh, this is slower than I expected. Okay.
I must wait to use that ability.
Moon Clan Impalers, Archives, again.
That ability is not yet recharged.
Well, it's Ice Clan. Where's the... Wait, it's Ice Clan, so where's the Porcupine? Okay. At first it looked like Moon Clan, and then I saw Ice Clan. Then I want to know where the Porcupines are. There's not enough Porcupines.
It is not ready yet.
Really? A 5% power pylon.
A vicious strike! I must wait to use that ability. My injury, that ability is not yet recharged.
Okay.
It is not ready yet. I must wait to use that ability.
Can I even take
That
down
ability
this?
is not yet recharged.
I feel like I can't take this down.
It is not ready yet.
Barely.
That ability is not yet recharged.
Okay. Now the other better question is... I'm trying to save some
It is not
density.
ready yet.
That's what I'm trying to do, actually.
I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability.
5% power pylon. No, at least it's a good pylon.
It's not ready yet. I must wait to use that ability. My understanding grows. It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability.
I have enough density for this?
You are defeated. I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready
Okay.
yet.
About to say. Alright. Okay. Better.
That ability is not yet recharged. Strength fails. I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet. Break beneath the endless tide.
Okay. Shield.
I must wait to use that ability. It is
Where are
not
the
ready
elites
yet.
at? There's like no elites whatsoever.
That ability is not yet recharged.
Oh, just gonna play density then.
Is invisible. I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged.
Yep, just density.
Not do that.
Just straight density.
Break beneath the endless not tide. Ready yet.
Shielding.
I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet. Ha! A vicious strike!
Terrible.
That ability
Okay, at
is
least
not
it's
yet recharged.
density shock tower. It's like I'm playing density again.
Storm breaks. I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not
Oh.
yet recharged.
Gotta be careful.
Spirit.
96.
It is not ready yet. I need to go back. I must wait to use that ability.
Did I keep enough? I don't think I did.
It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged.
Okay, there they are. I was like, I remember I kept some.
The Rift Guardian has
Okay,
arrived.
who is it? Okay,
It is not ready yet. I must wait to use that ability. I don't have enough spirit. That ability is not yet recharged.
Nice Oculus
That
Ring.
ability is not yet recharged.
There we go.
I need to go back.
Alright, that was the Power Pylon play. This makes the Rift Guardian fight a lot easier instead of using that right now because it was a 5%. Now, there were a lot of elite packs on this floor, which was great, but they're just too spaced out for you to actually use the power properly. So a 5% power pylon on floor 1, which is close to the entrance anyway, and so I just had to remember where did I leave a lot of like the density, and I wasted like about 20 seconds just trying to remember where I put things, and I didn't want to overkill the other floor, which was easy to get kills for, and so I was like, you know what? Alright, nice. Gems are catching up now. Nice. Try to get as many 100% as I can. Why did I click this first? I was gonna close anyways.
I grant you the power of your ancestors.
The gods favor me.
Go 143. The health pool is gonna start feeling a little bit awkward for 144, 145. I might have to start going for 800k health or something, or even 775k health. We'll see what I feel. 201. Like, isn't that close to... Yeah, I was like, 200 is the min. Man, some of these rolls. Oh, speaking of Eye of the Storm, that's... Oh, it only rolled 20, but it's at least an ancient. This item is so hard to roll. It's almost as difficult to roll as the Gaze. And it's very, like, awkward to use because it's never really used. There's like no space to use. But that was the... This is the helmet that I was making fun with Ben of Rue Chambers ring. Would use Eye of the Storm to make the the old weaker generator monk before the Shenlong setup was up and running, more or less, or at least at the beginning of it. We would use this for fun for like the lightning percent. It's kind of like uh Swampnet Waders or Blackdawn Pants giving the elemental, and this is the elemental portion, and that's why I actually like this helmet. But otherwise, it's yeah, really be using that. But it does get you that 30%, which is normally like 20% elemental elsewhere, right? Most of the time. And so this is really cool. It's a really cool helm, a Spirit Stone helmet equipment slot, anyways. All right, so 143 down. All right, so I'm getting closer to needing my health pool, probably 800k, which is gonna hurt my damage. But if I don't get cheat death procced, um, I'm okay with that. So I, I know this is a lot of paragons already into it, but uh, I have a bad feeling. Maybe 775k. Let's do that. There we go. The rest to damage. Yeah, 775k sounds like a good compromise. So 144. Between 3 to 5 tiers, you want to increase by like a minimum of 25k health so that you have enough. Now, what I'm most worried about is eventually this 7.8k or 7.9k is not good enough. That is the biggest issue I have. And I've always talked about it, and that's why I prefer a Kiroshiro's blade. That's better than this, but I I don't I don't have that version that I want. All right, 144. Here we go. Okay. Now it will test the life per hit here in this map for sure. Oh, it's Red Fallen.
I must wait to use that ability.
Red Fallen's not good enough. Now, if you get enough, the tall overseers is okay, which there are some here.
That ability is not yet recharged.
At least I got a blue elite start, but I'm already seeing my damage being really poor.
It is not ready yet.
Okay, there's the density that I want. Can the flies follow me? Please?
I must wait to use that ability.
Okay, this would get them.
This fight is over.
There we go.
It is not ready yet.
There's my 12%.
My injuries are
Really?
too
I got procced because I didn't move from that.
ability is not yet recharged.
I knew that was a problem. That's why I increased my health, and it was still a problem.
It cannot be done. It is not ready yet. Break beneath the endless tide. My strength returns.
One down.
I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready yet.
This is a little worrisome.
What you ask is impossible. Aid me.
I knew I was gonna get hit there.
That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability. I will not do that. The gods strike through me. That ability is not yet recharged.
Okay, double kill.
You never cease to impress
It is not ready yet. The gods strike through me.
Another blue elite. That's good.
I must wait to use that ability.
Almost double overlap there. That was good. There we go. Blue elite down. Channeling. Okay, there's one.
That ability is not yet recharged.
Two.
I must wait to use that ability. You are defeated. What you ask is impossible.
Gotta get some controlled chaos in here.
It is not ready yet. ability is not yet recharged.
One down,
My
coming up.
strength has increased.
Can I take out another
It is
one?
not ready yet.
Running out of density.
I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability.
Okay. There's the power. Okay.
That ability is not yet recharged.
Which means that I have to lower this one a little bit more.
It is not ready yet.
Okay.
That ability is not yet recharged.
That's the exit. Okay. Hey, how are you doing?
It is not ready yet. The gods strike through me.
Okay.
I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet. I must wait to use that ability. The gods strike through me. That ability is not yet recharged.
93.
I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged. It
Really?
is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged.
I just need a little bit more.
Strike through me. I must wait to use that ability.
Just wanted the guarantee. That way I can play this.
It is not ready yet.
The Rift Guardian is here.
Alright. What did I get? Okay.
That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet.
Really?
I need healing.
Wow. It's annoying. Wow. I dashed right back into it. How fun.
I must heal.
Really?
That ability is not yet
Like
recharged.
instant. That is just so stupid. How did that
I must
instantly
wait to
get
use
me?
that ability. It is not ready yet. I will not do that. I grow
Wow. And this is why I don't want to grab the power yet, because I just want to end with it. Instead, it's stealth.
That ability is not yet recharged. My injuries are too severe. I must wait to use that ability. I must heal.
I think I'm gonna grab it on the next left.
Aid me.
That frozen pulse is just so frustrating.
That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability.
Oh crap. RNG of... Are you serious? It had to spawn spinners.
That ability is not yet
Wow.
recharged.
Ridiculous. The RNG of that happening is like 1 in 5 to get the spinner or something. And... ridiculous.
You have a gem?
But anyway, that was a little silly, I guess. Come on. Really? Okay, thank you. At least that upgrade.
You must choose my skill.
Okay. I was trying to like get a good screenshot. I mean, I played the other stuff well, not the Rift Guardian.
I am returning to town.
I was just hoping that it wasn't spinners. Like, the entire time I was thinking, like, I keep wanting to play Life per Hit and Area Damage Splash, and then it happened
Well fought.
of the spinners. So,
Yetard has raised me to new heights.
that only hurt the play. Ah, new transmog, the helmet. Aw, not ancient. Let's try for bracers again.
Want to see what you'll get? Ooh, that's nice. Can I have it back?
At least they gave some, but not Pinto by any means.
You look like you could use a new item of what? I didn't even know I had that
Where is
thing.
the Pinto Pride?
Anything could happen. What? I didn't even know I had that thing.
Wow. Fine. Crazy. Not even a single Pinto's Pride. Alright. So 144 out of the way. I think what it's telling me from my gear, I need more help with the probably boots and helmet next. I think the Pinto's Pride is fine. I just have to live with it. But I need help with the helmet and the boots. Before I do more than 145. Yeah, I would go for 145 now, but it's just that I'm seeing the lack of damage already because the multiplier here is not strong enough. It's only a 137 and 174. Now, of course, the build is really strong. I can get 150 clear, but it's just like you have to play like super perfectly, and then you gotta have the right Rift Guardian and stuff. But in terms of percentages, this is just not good enough. And then the life per hit is not high enough for me to play the way I want to play. So, like, normally if you see a lot of my density gameplay, the more density I have, the better I play. The lesser monsters, the weaker my gameplay is. That's how it is. It's so weird. Like, I'm almost like a support player without being a support. Like, that's how crazy the gameplay is. Like, the difference between good gameplay and bad gameplay is that I actually play worse when there's lesser. I mean, that's the point of the life per hit, right? But
You must choose my skill.
I play way better with more monsters. Oof. A rough 145 and its impaler. Oh gosh. Tall spearman, sorry.
Wait to use that ability.
This is gonna be a rough 145. Oh, I was gonna put more health pool. I don't know if I have enough health pool for
It is not
tall
ready yet.
spearman. I need to get off this floor fast.
That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready
Well, at
yet.
least it's a blue, but it's a very painful blue. Look at that.
This fight is over. I must wait to use that ability. I will return. That ability is not yet recharged.
Yeah, I don't know if I can kill this blue.
I must wait to use that ability. I need healing. It cannot be done. You are defeated.
This blue moves too much. I mean, I'm moving, but I don't want them to
It is
move.
not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged.
There we go. I need to get off this floor. This floor is
It is not ready yet.
really painful and horrible.
Your strength fails. I must wait to use that ability.
Might as well use the Oculus Ring.
That ability is not yet recharged.
Yeah, this is super
I must
disgusting.
wait to use that ability. Strike through me. It is not ready yet.
I'm only breaking even, like, barely. And I got a yellow elite here. And it's a frozen pulse.
Feel the wrath of Yitar.
Oh, and arcane beams.
It is not ready yet.
That is not gonna work.
That ability is not yet recharged.
Handling.
It is not ready yet. Feel the wrath of Yitar.
Bit of shielding pack here. I don't even think I can kill a shielding.
I must wait to use
I can't kill anything.
I must wait to use that ability. It is
I
not
have to
ready
just
yet.
play
Break
density and
beneath
get
the
out.
endless tide.
Can I get off this floor now?
Ability is not yet recharged.
Okay. Too many yellow elite packs.
It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged.
Okay, I need to get out.
It cannot be done.
No, that's not enough. Next. There we go. Hell, which is
I must
painful,
wait to use that
but
ability.
it's still better than the impalers. I guess it depends.
That ability is not yet recharged. Feel the wrath of Yitan! What you ask is impossible.
Good. See a blue and its impaler, of course.
Cannot be done.
As soon as I got rid of playing impaler, the tall spearman, they gave me tall spearman back again.
I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet. I must wait to use that ability.
One really healthy blue. This is the biggest problem, that one healthy blue.
That ability is not yet recharged.
Okay, shield, nice. 50%
I
shield.
must heal. I must wait to use that ability.
Where are the elites now? It's like just all density. Okay,
That
one.
ability is not yet recharged.
There's only
I will
one.
not do that. Break beneath the endless tide.
Is that another one over there? Yes.
It is not ready yet. I must wait to use that ability. Ha! A vicious strike! My wounds are closing. That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready yet.
Alright. Here we go.
Feel the wrath of Yitan! That ability is not yet recharged.
Oh, it's a shielding blue. Oh, that's a problem.
Not ready yet.
One down.
I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet. That ability
Wow.
is not yet recharged.
Wait, why is there the one of the impalers are still so healthy? I mean, the tall spearman. Why?
I must wait to use that ability.
How many did I not have with me earlier?
That ability is not yet recharged. It is
Wow.
not ready yet.
This is... It's the tall spearman finally. Wait, what?
I must wait to use that ability.
Where is the last tall spearman? I'm confused.
The storm breaks. What you ask is impossible.
That spinner is bad, by the way.
It is not ready yet. I grow weak.
Followed me all the way.
I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability.
Ridiculous.
That ability is not yet recharged.
Damn it.
Has arrived.
Powerful enemy we have laid low.
It is
Oh,
not ready yet.
shit. This is over. I don't have
Heal.
enough damage for this guy. I wanted to go to the next floor just now.
I must wait.
I
to use that
overkilled that
ability.
one elite.
I
over.
need healing.
Yep. This 145 is over.
It is not ready yet.
I mean, I can kill it, but it's just so annoying.
I must wait to use that ability. I need healing. That ability is not yet I must heal.
Yeah, see? It's super annoying. Because you gotta move him, and then I overkilled one elite.
It is not ready yet.
Ah.
I must wait to use that ability. I need healing.
Yeah, it's over.
That ability is not yet
It's just
recharged.
doing double gas. It's like really bad.
I must wait to use that ability.
This nice
That
Oculus ring, I
ability is
guess.
not yet recharged. It is not ready yet. My strength.
I was out of it. Yeah, this is
That
stupid.
ability is not yet recharged. I need spirit. I will return. I must wait to use that ability.
What?
I will not do that. I need
So dumb. This is why I don't like. This is why I don't like overkilling elites with the stupid altar
spirit.
potion. Altar node.
My whip.
The altar node killed it. So dumb.
I am returning to town.
I hate the stupid 60-yard bullshit.
New goods today. Please look. You won't be
It's
disappointed.
so annoying. Because it grabs the orbs that I didn't want. I didn't even intentionally walk to them. They just got picked up. I was gonna go next anyway.
Ready yet.
The strength of the build overkilled it. So silly, man.
I must wait.
I'm just killing for drops, since I'm already there.
It is not ready yet. I must wait to use that ability. I need healing.
Even that, even that was proccing me. Ridiculous.
I am returning to town.
Getting Voracity is one of the worst, and then I didn't get my 99% power pylon, or 99% power, pylon
The
check.
gods favor me.
So that's 145 first fail. Okay, roger that. 775. Stupid.
You must choose my skill.
That boss is just disgusting. I mean, I know that I have a lot of bosses that are like proc cheat deaths for sure, but that one's just nasty.
Strong enough to survive the trial?
Okay, this elite is stupid.
That ability is not yet recharged.
Oh no. Where did those come from?
I must wait to use that ability.
Seriously? It's a teleporter. Like,
I must
wow.
be ready yet.
The game is pissing me off.
You are defeated. That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready yet. You are defeated. What you ask is impossible. That ability is not yet recharged.
Yeah, I gotta kill this Pylon spawn point.
Your flaws are revealed. I must wait to use that ability.
be able to clear anything, I guess.
I must wait to use that ability. Your flaws are revealed. That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready yet. I must wait to use that ability. This fight is over. That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability. A vicious strike! It is not ready yet.
One down, finally.
I must wait to use that ability.
Where is the...
It is not ready yet.
I was trying to think if I can kill this,
That
but
ability
nope,
is not yet recharged.
can't. Gonna have to give that up because of that additional yellow elite, unless it follows me. Okay, thank you. Somehow it actually managed to follow me, like,
It is not ready yet.
wait, where did it go now? Where are you, Frozen Pulse? What happened to you?
That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready yet.
Finally.
I will return. I must wait to use that ability.
I was like, where did the Frozen Pulse go? Like, it was following me just fine, and then it just
That ability
suddenly
is not yet recharged.
had nothing. I was like, it's not dead, is it?
My strength fails. I must wait to use that ability. It is not ready yet.
Oh, of course. The spinner.
Flaws are revealed.
How exciting.
That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability.
Okay. Did I get to exit yet?
That
Alright, what's my
ability is
pylon?
not yet
What's my
recharged.
pylon? What's my pylon? Please be like a speed or conduit or something.
It is not ready yet.
I don't really want conduit on this floor, but...
You are defeated.
Okay. Okay.
I must
I mean,
wait to use that ability.
I thought about it too much, I guess.
That ability is not yet recharged.
At least it's not a spinner. Ads, that is.
It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged. My mind is stronger.
Okay. Okay.
It cannot be done. The gods strike through me.
Channeling. The fire chains.
That ability is not yet recharged.
Am I not gonna get my 99 again?
I must heal. I must wait to use that ability.
That's gonna be bad.
It is not ready yet. I must wait to use that ability.
Of course, runner.
It is not ready yet.
Where are you running to, man?
That ability is not yet recharged.
Okay, fine. I'll chase you.
I must wait to use that ability.
Huh, thank you. Okay.
It is not ready yet.
At least I got the power this time.
That ability is not yet recharged. Ha! A vicious strike! It is not ready yet.
Where's the density though? Just suddenly ran out.
That ability is not yet recharged. Your flaws are revealed. I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet.
Alright, who is it?
Has found me.
Okay. I mean, it's kinda
It is not ready
it's
yet.
kinda just as bad as Voracity, but at least it's not instantaneous like him.
I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged. I must wait to use that ability.
Thank you, Oculus Ring. Very nice.
It is not ready yet. That ability is not yet recharged.
Of course, you move so far away from
It is
my
not ready
Oculus
yet.
Ring.
Aid me. I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged.
Well, I didn't forget. Don't worry. It's just I prefer to make sure that I'm at the right HP for it.
I must wait to use that ability. That ability is not yet recharged. It is not ready yet.
Time to go for it. This map is actually bad with the Rift Guardian.
I need healing. I must wait longer.
Of course I got procced right then. Come on, man.
It is not ready yet.
It would have been so simple.
I am returning to town.
It would have been so simple.
Yes.
Alright. That was just brutal. Come on, 146. Thank you. Nice. Both 146. Alright, that wasn't... That could have been a lot better, but... The build is very strong. I'm not talking about the build itself. It's just the multipliers are too low to get a better time. So I'm just like wasting like each density. I have to take like 2 to 3 rotations instead of like 1, basically.
Excellent.
My
New bits today. Please look. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah. That was fun for the 145. Would have been a lot better. Alright, last attempt to get
Hello
Pinto's
there.
Pride, or should I just gamble for boots? That's not a good percentage. Maybe I should just go for helmets instead.
What? I didn't even know I had that thing.
Two, 5.
Fortune favors the bold. See you soon. Well, it's a good paperweight. You look like you could use a new eye. Do come back again.
And what's the time now? Alright, that was good 2.5. Now I'm gonna try for a strafe multi-shot.